Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Tom Blaze. Welcome on in, my friends. Happy motherfucking Monday. Hope you're well, hope you're chilling. This is episode 158, and today is January 29th of 2023. How's everybody doing, man? Hope we're all chilling. Hope we're vibing. January was kind of long, but somewhat flew by, if I'm being honest with you. So, let's fucking get it, baby. All right. Pretty stacked show for you guys tonight. Lots of submissions. We're gonna go over uh, weekly recap stuff. What's coming up on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so, and a whole lot of other good stuff, man. So let's get into it. Let's go. So, like I said, this episode 158. Hope you're vibing, hope you're well, hope you're chilling. And let's get into it, my friends. So, let's pull up some notes. Let's talk about the weekly recap. Let's see what happened at Music Mondays over the course of the last week or so. Let's fucking get it, baby. Loudest Official, what's good, homie? Hope you're well, working on stuff, but listening on the side. Love to hear that. Fucking get it, baby. Hope everything's been Gucci. So let's pull out some weekly recap stuff and let's talk, man. So, like I said, today is January 29th. We had a pretty stellar week here at Music Mondays, if I do say so myself. Kicked off last week with announcing our very first merch sample on Music Mondays, man. So if you didn't see that, definitely go check that out. That's live on all social medias. I basically broke down process of our first merch drop and things like that. So definitely go check that out and go show that some love, because that was an amazing segment. And we'll have some updates for you guys on merch and how that's doing and where that's at in just a bit. But the Music Mondays merch sample announcement is live on all socials. So like I said, definitely go check that out and go show that some love. The Music Mondays 3-year anniversary YouTube upload is available on our YouTube right now as well. Last week we kind of dove into the 3-year anniversary of Music Mondays, where we're at now, how we got here, and more specifically the podcast, right? Because the brand has a little bit more history than the show itself, but they're kind of intertwined. So we kind of spoke about both of those. So definitely go check that out and go show that some love right now. That's live on YouTube. Let's see here. So that takes us to Friday, and actually Across the Pond made a return with the October through December edition being live on our SoundCloud right now, created by Aster. For those of you that don't know, Across the Pond is our monthly playlist where we showcase people that are artists outside of the United States, right? So a lot of our overseas friends from Europe and the Middle East and things like that. Across the Pond is something that Aster's based in Germany, so it made a lot of sense for them to be able to like curate that in like a proper way, right? So Across the Pond is spotlighting a lot of curators and artists that are just not in the United States, pretty much. You know what I mean? Just to give everybody like a broad example of the underground and other cultures and whatnot, right? So it's a little bit different and a little bit of a great playlist, and we have plenty of editions up. I think that launched in like August or July possibly, but yeah, there's a few editions up right now, and the October through December edition is live right now. We decided to pack the last 3 months of 2023 into one volume, so that was something that we really wanted to do, and something that I was like, okay, yeah, you might as well just stack the months together. But that'll be returning in January, towards the end of the month. I think we have like 1 or 2 more days left of this month, so expect that to come out relatively soon at the top of February. But the October and December edition, or October through December edition, is live right now for 2023. So go show that some love. And then we kicked off the weekend with 2 brand new articles that are available on allmusicmondays.com. A quick review by myself. I wrote a quick breakdown of Lord Heretic's new track, Slow Down. Definitely go check that out. Many of you know, the ones that know my writing know that I'm not really a review guy. Out of my hundreds of pieces that I've written over the last couple years, I think only like a handful of them are reviews, less than like 10. And then the other like 90% are interviews. So definitely go check that out if you want to see what those are like. And we followed that up with a Blank Thought article, actually, that's live right now on allmusicmondays.com. Blank Thought kind of broke down 5 more underground tracks that you might have missed in 2023. Um, Blank Thought's really killing it with these like end of the year, you might have missed it like 2023 kind of vibes, you know what I mean? So um, we decided to throw up another one of those and give some more artists some love. So definitely go check that out and go show Blank Thought some love because that's a great piece. Um, let's see here. So that takes us to Saturday. Episode 157 of the Music Mondays podcast is available everywhere. Wherever you listen to podcasts, right? We're also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon now. Actually, yeah, we are on Amazon now. I should probably make that an official announcement. I was planning on doing that this week, but we had such a busy weekend that just kind of slipped my mind. But the Music Mondays podcast is available on Amazon Music. So if you listen to Amazon Music, you use Amazon anywhere in your home, right? Amazon Echo and things like that. You'll be able to listen to the Music Mondays podcast. So definitely go check that out. And the Amazon process was actually like really, really easy. And of course, if you're interested in the Music Mondays podcast on any other platform, right? Maybe you listen to podcasts on some obscure platform, feel free to let us know. And we'll be happy to get the show up there for you guys as well. I know we had a couple questions for the show on SoundCloud, but that's just a lot of storage for that platform right now. Because we have unlimited storage, right? But I think it would crowd a lot of the stuff that we have going on SoundCloud. I think the Music Monday SoundCloud should stay as like a music centered SoundCloud. So that's why we kind of went the direction of being able to like put the show everywhere. You know what I mean? And of course, per usual, a huge shout out to everybody that submitted and showed love for last week's episode, and of course everybody that tuned in as well. Yeah. So definitely stream the Music Mondays podcast wherever you listen to the show, man. Because of course it's always available on YouTube and of course Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all that good stuff. So go check that out. Go show those artists some love. And huge shout out to everybody that tuned in. Let's see. So we ended off the weekend with SoundCloud Sunday, volume 119. This week's SoundCloud Sunday was absolutely fucking stacked. We had a shit ton of submissions mixed with a couple really good lists from our curators. So volume 119 was actually like a really stacked one. So if there's one you definitely shouldn't miss, it's this one for sure. So this was curated by myself and Music Monday staff curator Waterfalls. So again, huge shout out to Waterfalls for curating that with me. And I believe 60 was on the cover art this week, so huge shout out to 63 for getting on the art grind. But of course, submissions for SoundCloud Sunday always open every single Wednesday. So if you're interested in SoundCloud Sunday, you're interested in getting on the playlist, submissions open literally every single Wednesday. New volumes every week. So make sure you follow us on socials. Stay up to date when submissions are open for SoundCloud Sunday. Man, approaching 120 volumes is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. 120 is like, damn, that is not a little boy number. That is not a little boy number at all. So I'm definitely excited for 120 volumes. So again, submissions open on Wednesday. Make sure you follow us on socials and keep your eyes peeled for when those drop. But let's get it, chat. So that's your weekly recap. That's what's been going down at Music Mondays over the course of the last week or so. But we have a whole lot of interesting stuff to talk about here this week. So what's coming up at Music Mondays over the course of the next week? And oh man, so I would say the most important thing that we got to talk about here is Music Mondays merch. That is coming soon. Actually, I can go track and see if our tracking info is updated. So Music Mondays merch is coming in a limited quantity. Once I have all the product in my possession, that's when you guys will see an announcement go up for when you're able to purchase. So all this will be done by hand as well, and again, it'll be very limited. Flat rates. You don't have to pay for shipping or anything like that. So everything that you pay for when you purchase a Music Mondays basic logo tee is included, and of course I'll be shipping them myself. So of course, if you have any problems or anything like that, will work with you. So, this will be a super rare drop, first time drop for Music Mondays, but I'm expecting the package sometime between today and the 1st of February. So once I get that in my possession, I'll be able to get the announcement ready and have you guys be able to go crazy. Because I know a couple of staff members want some. We're going to hook up our Patreons. I have some IRL people that want some, so they're going to go pretty fast with how limited they are. So if you do want one, definitely be prepared within the next like couple of weeks or so. I'm aiming for an announcement to go up this week, definitely. Um, Hopefully the latest Friday. But like I said, once I kind of have everything in my possession, I'll be able to kind of like see the scope of things and really where everything lands. So that's totally on my plate right now, and that's something that's like very, very important. But other than that, we are really hunkering down on content here at Music Mondays. So we have a pretty big staff meeting tomorrow to really allocate some people's roles and really figure out what we're going to do for content for the rest of quarter 1 and things like that. Because Cyberfest 2 is still a big, big deal here at Music Mondays. So that's going to be something that we heavily focus on as well. So Cyberfest 2 absolutely is definitely something that we're really front and center with, if I'm being honest with you. And then one thing outside of Cyberfest is uh, we're really hunkering down on written content. So we're going to be upgrading the website relatively soon. We're going to be able to show you guys really what the Music Mondays writing team is like super made of. So I really just want to keep on articles consistently and really start feeding the Patreon with more exclusive content. So we're just trying to align things properly and make sure we can get content to you guys consistently and on a regular basis. So again, pretty big staff meeting this week. We'll be able to talk about the rest of quarter 1 and are going to finish out the next little while. So stay tuned for pretty major updates. Absolutely. But you can expect your monthly and weekly content to resume. I'll be recording a workshop Wednesday and feature Friday here for our YouTube channel relatively soon. And of course, we're going to be dabbling in some more one-off videos as well. So there's a couple things that we want to do here for not only just the channel, but just Music Mondays in general. So definitely keep your eyes peeled and keep posted, man, because if you're not following us on socials, that's where you're going to get the best announcements for Music Mondays, man. Definitely keep your eyes and ears open. But so yeah, a couple of major things going down here at Music Mondays, and a lot of important stuff. Really, really at the forefront. So merch is a big thing, but that'll be done relatively soon, and you guys will get that announcement shortly. And then hunkering down on monthly and weekly content is really like a big deal to me. So you see a lot of consistency out of us. Not that you really haven't. I mean, we are. I mean, come on, like you guys know that we are very consistent. But I'm trying to double up on everything here in 2024 and really push Music Mondays to the next level. So a couple of things are at the back end, but you can expect the weekly and monthly stuff to, per usual, continue. So that's what's coming up in Music Mondays over the course of the next couple of weeks or so. Before we get into our segment here, I kind of want to discuss 2 short topics as well. You guys know the drill. Music Mondays is recruiting. We are on the hunt for writers, journalists, curators, media personalities, designers, people that want to be involved in Music Mondays. If you have any skills that you think you could contribute to Music Mondays with, definitely let us know. Definitely send us an email, send us a pitch. If you have a resume, great. If not, also great. That's fine. Because we're always happy to really show the ropes to newer creators and things like that. But yeah, definitely let us know if you're interested in recruiting for Music Mondays. We'll be breaking down roles here on the show over the course of the next couple episodes, as well as a new updated guide for Music Monday submissions in 2024. So I think that's going to be the play for sure. But again, Music Mondays is recruiting. Definitely let us know if that's something that interests you, and we'll be happy to have that conversation. So let's see, where does that land us? Oh yeah, so we are on the hunt for SoundCloud exclusives. We are actually on the hunt for our first SoundCloud exclusive in 2024. We had a really banger 2023 with how many tracks we were able to host and promote on our SoundCloud. So we're looking to continue that streak, man. So if you have an unreleased SoundCloud track that you'd like to get hosted here on Music Mondays and promoted for free, definitely let us know. And again, we'll be happy to have that conversation with you. We're only interested in the SoundCloud version that's unreleased. So if you want to go release it on all platforms, Spotify, Apple, things like that, feel free to go right ahead. Again, we just want to build up our SoundCloud library, be able to show our fans some love over there on SoundCloud, and of course, promote new up and coming artists. So again, if you have an unreleased SoundCloud track that you'd like to host on Music Mondays and get promoted for free, let us know and we'll be happy to arrange that for you. And same goes for YouTube, my friends. So again, if you're interested in getting a music video hosted on the Music Mondays channel of over 250 subscribers, definitely let us know. Anything unreleased, doesn't even really have to be a music video. It can be a visual, it can be audio, it can be anything like that. So again, if you're interested in getting hosted on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, definitely let us know. And we'll be happy to have that conversation with you, my friend. So we're on the hunt for some exclusives. Get in contact with us, man, because we're looking. We are looking. Uh, Definitely expect a new flyer for that to go out relatively soon as well. Um, we are absolutely um gonna push for that within the next couple weeks for sure. But but that about does it for weekly recap stuff. What's coming up on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so and things like that. So let's head over to the Bird app and let's talk Music Mondays submission. So, um, let's talk. So I think we'll turn this into somewhat of a 2024 guide. We'll kind of break down the further details of Music Mondays podcast, and try to answer a lot of the common questions that we get here on Music Mondays. Because we did one last year, and I just think this year it's going to be a lot easier for sure. So, sip of coffee. Let's talk. Um, Music Mondays curates submissions for the podcast on Twitter. Um, for a couple of major reasons. The first being that it's the easiest place to actually curate submissions, right? If you go on Instagram and you ask for a bunch of DMs, you're gonna get either A, glitch DMs, or B, a bunch of spam DMs that just are gonna make for a lot of hell. If you could put links in Instagram comments, maybe that'd be a different story. But the only like realistic way to curate submissions through Instagram would be DMs, and that's why we don't do it over there. Um, Nobody really uses Reddit in the underground like that unless they're like a fan or a supporter. Facebook's kind of more for the older crowd. Um, and then you have your up and coming platforms like Threads and Blue Sky that just aren't quite there yet in terms of submissions and things like that. So there's a couple factors as to why we do curate on Twitter, but that's the easiest is because it is very easy to create a thread and for everybody just to drop any kind of link they want to drop, right? If you want to drop a YouTube video, SoundCloud link, da 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 da, it's all in one place for us. And it's very easy for us to go through submissions. And again, we are a live show. This isn't recorded, nothing like that. It premieres on YouTube, yes, but we're always live every single Monday. So that's a big thing too. We like to keep the show free flow, and for our audio listeners, it's really easy for them to be able to follow along and things like that, right? Um, so we don't have to click open a bunch of windows and do this, that, and a third. Oh, this guy's got a Dropbox link. Oh, it's in the Google Drive. I'm going to SoundCloud. I'm going to Instagram. I'm going, you know what I mean? So it keeps everything in one place and it makes the show pretty easy to follow along with. You know what I mean? So very, very, very important there. But that's the main reason that we do curate on Twitter. And of course, kind of another smaller reason, but the underground population and the independent artist population is relatively large on Twitter, and it still is, and it always has been, right? I've been on Twitter for close to 12 years. I've had my account since 2012, and it's always been a place for thriving fan bases and new up and coming creators. It always has been, and it always will be, right? Creators really run this platform, so it's very important. But that's why we do curate on Twitter. So, what's next? Tweets will always be in the same format in which we collect submissions. And they'll always read like this, and it's like the format on your screen right now for those that are watching the YouTube edition. But again, they'll always be in the same format. The only thing that changes is the date. For example, tweets will always read artists and creatives. Submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on 1/29/24 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is here and now. So that's really the only thing that changes is the date, just to let you know what show you're submitting for. That way, it keeps things relatively easy for you. And then, of course, our Twitch link, twitch.tv/songplays, which is here. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's definitely in the description. Make sure you're following the channel. If you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. So, contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we've reacted to everything, including music, right? So vocals, instrumentals, music videos, but even things deeper than that, right? So photography, video edits, YouTube edits, designs, merch, fashion, you name it, we've reacted to it here on the show, man. We've gone through so many different portfolios and um, spotlighted so many different creators, man. And the main reason for that is I knew when I started Music Mondays, being a creator myself for so long, I knew that um, there were so many talented people out there that were multi-talented, right? A lot of producers also do vocals, a lot of engineers also produce, a lot of designers also produce. So there are a lot of like multi-talented people hanging around, and I think it's definitely a good thing that we spotlight all of them here in the underground. So again, feel free to submit any type of work and never shy away from that. All art forms are welcome. And of course, for our show limits, that's just to keep the show more palatable to watch back. Even a 3 to 4 hour podcast is still somewhat harder to watch back without actually just like putting it on the background or X, Y, or Z. But that's a lot shorter than our older shows, right? I think the first like couple hundred episodes in Music Mondays were some of them, not all of them, got to be like a lot longer length, right? I think like the longest show we ever did was like 6.5, maybe like 6 hours, if not 7. So yeah, that's just a little rough to watch back if you're a new artist and things like that, and if you just enjoy the show, right? So we're trying to find that sweet spot of either like 3 to 4 hours, but for right now, the show does have a 4 hour show limit, so of course that was just put in place to take a little bit of pressure off the Music Monday staff and to be able to make the show a little bit more palatable to watch back. So that's the reason for that. And then, of course, you must be following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. What does that mean? Well, submissions are free. They always have been free. They always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter before you submit to not only spread our message and grow our community, but just to pay respect to everybody else that also submits their tracks and waits for their submissions to be reacted to each week. So, and of course, you gain access to a wide range of creatives and a very, very welcoming community. So just keep that in mind. And of course, again, submissions are free, so that's the only thing that we do ask. And of course, Patreon subscriber submissions are played first each week. So when we launched the Patreon around the same time is when we were actually setting a time limit on the show. So I knew once we set a time limit on the show that there's going to be some weeks where we just couldn't get through all the submissions. Maybe we had to cut the show short or things like that. So we created the Music Mondays Fast Pass, which you can only gain access to through the Music Mondays Patreon. We have a bunch of other goodies over there, depending on which tier that you pledge to. But the Music Mondays Fast Pass is at every tier and essentially grants you the ability to get your submissions played first and guaranteed to be played here on the show every single week, and of course for the duration that you're pledged to the Music Mondays podcast. So, that pretty much was a way to give people that really wanted their submissions played first at the start of the show. At our peak viewership, when most people tune into the show on YouTube, when most people are turning into the show on audio platforms, that's the easiest way to get your submissions first, right? Because a lot of people click through rate and whatnot. You know what I mean? Super analytical stuff that we could talk about at another time. But it really grants you the ability to be able to be seen first, right, instantly. So that's one of the bigger perks for the Music Mondays Fast Pass. But really, what it comes down to is a guaranteed submission, and we'll always go through your submissions first. So again, that's available at every tier on the Music Mondays Patreon. If you want more information, definitely go check that out. And we'll be doing a video relatively soon on the 2024 Patreon and what we're going to do for all of our current patrons over there for the rest of the year. But that's that. So our patrons will always be played first each week, and then we'll go through the rest of the community's submissions. And again, of course, if you have any further questions on that, definitely let us know. But that was an easier way to have people, get guaranteed submissions, right? So that was very important to us for those that actually wanted that. And then, of course, the only thing that you do need to know is submissions close right when the show goes live. So usually when the show goes live or a little bit before the show goes live, submissions close just so we can really get a head count and see what we're working with, right? For instance, if somebody comes in with like a super late submission and then messes up the order, because we just scroll down the line unless you're a Patreon, right? So somebody comes in with like a late submission and then they're like, oh, my bad, da 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 da, like it kind of messes up the order because we would have gotten to other people first, but because you're late, we had to cut through. So that's the reason for that, right? And of course, again, it keeps the show free flow. We're able to kind of see what we're working with and what the show's going to look like for the night. So again, just keep that in mind. Submissions are open for pretty much 7 days. They don't close until that Monday. So roughly like 6 days or so, because submissions open every single Tuesday. So for instance, we're live right now with the show. Submissions are closed, but submissions open tomorrow for next week's show. So today's January 29th. If you're wanting to submit for February 5th, those submissions will be live tomorrow. So that's the only thing you really got to know, right? As long as you get your submission in from Tuesday to Monday, you'll be good to go. So you have, again, roughly about 6 or so days to get your submissions in. So that's what's very important about that. But that's the basic rundown for the Music Mondays podcast and how we collect submissions in 2024. And of course, if anything changes, we'll be absolutely updating you guys immediately. But for right now, that's the format that we're going into the new year with. And of course, that's the format that we finished off the last year with. So again, if you have any further questions, you want to know anything about the show, definitely let us know, leave a comment. And of course, if you're seeing this on YouTube, definitely drop a like and show us some love and subscribe if you have not already, motherfucker. Let's get a chat. A little bit more of a detailed guide there, but that was something that I really wanted to hit for the new year. So let's take a scroll and let's see how many patrons we got for the night, and then we'll dive into some community submissions. So far, looks like Blank Dot, and we got the homie Jordan. Okay. So we got 2 patrons tonight, and then we're gonna dive into the rest of the communities. So let's do it. So first up is the homie Blank Dot. Now, this is an artist who literally destroyed 2023, as I always say, but they're off to a hard start in 2024. They submitted a new, relatively new, I believe this came out at like the end of 2023, collab track with Question ATL by The Marina. Let's check this out. Let's see what we got. Now, for those of you that don't know, Blank Dot's a very, very talented underground hip-hop producer, but is very, very versatile as well. So I'm always excited to see what Blank Dot's up to, but
my health. On this road, let's travel, hope I make it to wealth. See, I spent so much time afraid of myself and helping everybody else. I need to pray for myself. They say I'm good, but I'm trying to get greater. I heard the difference is in the choice of picture you painted. Still, I'm increasing my skills, that's on the daily. Gotta be a bit more vigilant, cause life is getting crazy. They wanna see me switch on my niggas, but they can't make me. Anywhere I go, I turn that place into a gang thing. Few fake friends wishing they could make me change things. But I know the game, I've been in this shit waist deep. Got a dart from your demons, get some better friends. They can only win if you let them in. Acting like we ain't the problem as it's setting in. Living in denial while the record spins. I just got some new shrooms and some veggies in. I'm about to pack that shit and go straight to the moon. Hey, that's that pill packed in that plastic. Nigga, city of hot wings, clubs and blackness. This Atlanta. These days they catching me on more cameras. Babe sitting back telling me I'm so handsome. Reminiscing back on when she watched So Random. I freestyle what I feel, shit I don't plan it. Results of keeping the faith, it's no panic. Why you trying to be in the way? Mind state, get more paid to the last day. Like Def Jam status, I smash this beat in a cage. Praying I become what I'm supposed to before the grave. What's the meaning of this place? Contemplating life by the marina facing J's. Getting more familiarized with me and all my ways. A lot of friends and family telling me to take a break. They so fucking committed, hard for me to take a day. Gotta keep it consistent. Niggas know I'm piffing when they see me. In 2015, I was grinding weed on CDs. Me and Blank Thought making M's off of PCs. Alive, modern day BGs.
Yeah.
Niggas thought they had it planned, made them rethink. Shit, you could get up to the same levels we reach. Believe me. Nigga, honestly, you could go get this shit, man. Everybody got the same 24 in a day. You got the power, dog, it's all in your mind. I'm about to file some of this medicine for my true hippie hustler niggas.
He's not wrong. The extended bong rip. That was flawless. That was absolutely. There's no like. That's got to be one of the like. That's either like one of the best tracks on the project, or that's like a sleeper that like nobody noticed because what the fuck. All right. This was track 5. So it's kind of in the middle. It's very interesting. That's very, very interesting. Okay. Um, let's talk about it, man. Let's break it down. We're gonna talk about 3 things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals, and we're talking about the overall theme of By the Marina. So, man, this is a pretty crazy one. I won't lie. This is definitely a pretty crazy one. For a couple of reasons. But before we get into that, let's talk instrumental. Mix is fantastic. Again, this is a producer that I say this about time and time again, but we always have to say it just because there's always new listeners, right? And this is a very consistent producer when it comes to their mix. Nothing clashing, too overbearing, nothing that's like, too overwhelming or off-putting or anything like that. Drums in particular, the sound selection is perfect. Everything's nice and level. No gripes with this at all. Instrumental mix, very much on point, no doubt. Instrumental Shining Star. This one's a little bit more rough because I'm a big fan of the drums, but the melody has such a question ATL kind of feeling to it, right? But also the track By the Marina, right? You kind of like picture by the water, by the edge of the ocean, or just a dock, anything of that nature. I really feel like you're kind of associating this with. So I don't know, man. The melody sets the mood, but the drums are just fantastic. I'm gonna have to go with the melody just because like it's gonna be one of those things that you always identify this song with, but it's always like a very relaxing element as well. So definitely the melody for me, absolutely. Let's talk vocals. Question ETL is an artist that man, we have a lot of experience with here on Music Mondays. Um, but when it comes to their mix, they've always had a very solid mix. I've never heard a Question ATL track, let alone one with Blank Thought, that has like a kind of wonky mix, right? I think this is an artist that has a great natural voice. So it's not something you need, too much processing with, right? But it's definitely something that you always want to recognize because it's always nice and crisp and clean and always well done. Um, and of course, vocals sit well, drums cut through nicely, nothing's really clashing or anything like that. So, vocal mix fantastic for sure. Um, hmm, hmm. Vocal shining star. Now this one's a little harder, right? For a couple of reasons. Because the flow is crazy, but the writing is even crazier. But probably the flow. I'm not gonna lie. I do like the writing a lot, but the flow is something that is just like engaging the writing so well. The delivery, the cadence, the attitude, the effort, the emphasis on certain things. Um, it's definitely the flow and cadence for me for sure. Not even a question. Not even a question. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Um, a vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. So, aesthetics, man. Now, I believe this art was done by Blank Thought, and Blank Thought does like such a good job, kind of taking these older fashioned art pieces and really just not necessarily deep frying them, but really modernizing them and turning them into like crazy insane to look at art pieces, right? Like you always know when Blank Thought has worked on the cover art for sure. You always do, but this one is really great for a full project. It definitely do good for a single, but this project's name, As the Waters Settle, and this one kind of being lakeside, kind of not really lakeside, maybe like oceanside, beachside, just kind of like a real nice, relaxing vibes. So this is one that I was really seeing and feeling the vision for sure. But Blank Thought usually nails it as far as aesthetics go. So uh, not really a shocker. You know what I mean? Definitely not really a shocker. Um, so aesthetics on point. Overall theme by the Marina. So um, obviously a showcase of lyricism and writing skill, right? But this one definitely doesn't neglect having that like relaxing by the ocean kind of feel, right? I think part of that's due to the melody, but Question ATL also like paints a perfect summer picture for this, right? I mean, the project dropped in December, but it has that crazy summer feel to it, which I think is so ironic, but I love it. I think that's like fantastic. Um, Especially being in like fucking, you know, cold ass New England, right? So we got a bunch of snow and shit. So if you're like in Florida or somewhere else, you're just fucking kicking it. But yeah, man. That's one of those things where I feel like Question definitely did a really good job, um, kind of blending the two, but also like really hitting that like summer feel, right on the nose. Absolutely. So huge shout out to Blank Dot for the submission and Question ATL. Make sure you follow Question on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow Blank Dot on Twitter. They're approaching 1.4K on the Bird app, so go love my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already been. We are about 10 away from 260, man. Road to 300. So go subscribe. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good stuff available there. So go show these motherfuckers some love and go show the channel some love, man. And if you already have, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Miz, what's good? I hope you're well. Welcome on in. Happy Monday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So huge shout out to Blank Thought, our first patron of the night, but our second patron of the night, the homie Jordan. Now, this is somebody, man, again, much like Blank Thought, had a really solid 2023. Definitely worked their ass off and put out a lot of quality work. And not even just music either, right? Visuals and a whole lot of stuff we could talk about. But their 2024 is shaping up to be quite similar and quite the level up. So I'm definitely excited to see what Jordan has been up to. But they submitted a track titled Dill. Howling at the Moon V2. Okay. Let's pop this open a new tab. Get a little flashbang. And let's see what we got here. So 20 hours ago. Relatively new, man. Relatively new. Written under the Wolf Moon. Rod Jordan. Cover shot edit by Jordan. We love that. And we got lyrics and description. Okay. All right. I'm with it. Let's get into it. Jordan, Bill, let's go. Oh, man. W intro. Thought I had a game open for a second.
Not running out of steam, trying to up the streams. I was 17, doing anything and everything, right? Something like a dream, you know what I mean. Since then, it don't even really feel like the same life. And that was lightning, I won't ever feel the same twice. Under moonlighting, I still feel like it's daylight. Not running out of steam, trying to up the streams. Not running out of steam, trying to up the streams. Not running out of steam, trying to up the streams. I was 17, doing anything and everything, right? Something like a dream, you know what I mean. Since then, it don't even really feel like the same life. And that was lightning, I won't ever feel the same twice. Under moonlighting, I still feel like it's daylight. No, don't you try to scream, this is not that scene. Feelings lie to me, I feel everything. Not running out of steam, trying to up the streams. Not running out of steam, trying to up the streams. Not running out of steam. Not running out of steam. Not running out of steam, trying to up the streams. Not running out of steam, trying to up the streams. Not running out of steam. Not running out of steam.
Wow. Trying to up the streams, I was 17, doing anything and everything, right? Something like a dream, you know what I mean. Since then, it don't even really feel like the same life. When that was lightning, I won't ever feel the same twice. Under moonlighting, I still feel like it's daylight. Not running out of steam, trying to up the streams. Not running out of steam, trying to up the streams. Not running out of steam, trying to up the streams. I was 17, doing anything and everything, right? Something like a dream, you know what I mean. Since then, it don't even really feel like the same life. And that was lightning, I won't ever feel the same twice. The extended fade out. That was a good outro, man. Holy shit. Okay. Wow. All right. There's a lot I want to touch on here because this is kind of a loaded track. Yeah, 434, man. Like, I didn't even really notice the time, but you know, 434 is no light shit, and I definitely feel like Jordan did a really good job feeling this track, right? So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. We're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Still. So, let's talk instrumental. So, mix is fantastic. Especially when you consider the drums and the bass. I think the mix was great, especially throughout the whole track. Nothing kind of fell off or anything like that. The whole thing was really solid from A to B. So I definitely want to stress that. Um, Much like Blank Thought, this is an artist that has a really consistent mix. But for those new viewers, this is definitely an artist where it's not out of their character for them to have like a really solid mix. So not really a shocker, but something I always want to point out. Definitely nothing clashing to overbearing, nothing that really like threw me off. Especially with vocals, the vocal sample, the bass, the drums. There's a couple, there was a decent amount going on in this track, So I didn't really notice anything that was like kind of off to me at all. Um, so instrumental mix definitely solid. Um, hmm. Instrumental Shining Star is kind of interesting to me because you know, for one, there's the vocal sample, right? There's that, and then there's the drums, and more specifically, the bass line. And then just the melody itself and how everything kind of came together, right? And then there's also structure, you know? So there's a lot of things that you could consider here for the one thing that really like stood out. But for me, it was probably the bass line and, even more on a broad note, I guess you could say the like all the drums, you know? Um the bass line was something that gave this song the grit that it needed, but it wasn't an 808, coming stomping through. It wasn't really throwing off the vibe, but I feel like the subtle yet like wide, almost like just muddy bass line was perfect. It was right where it needed to be in my opinion. So, definitely the drums for sure. Um, let's talk vocals though. Vocal mix is fantastic. Again, back to the instrumental mix point. This is an artist that has a pretty tight grip on their vocals, but even when they kind of like switch up their style or their how they want to mix or how they want to record, I always find that Jordan has a very consistent mix regardless. Um, so that's one thing I love about this. Nothing clashing, nothing too overbearing. Vocals said nice, especially with the vocal sample. Everything kind of is very cohesive in this track, and nothing is kind of like out there. Um, so a vocal mix, fantastic. Um, hmm. And this was even more like another note on the mix. Like I almost feel like this is even Jordan like kind of pushing the line of like how they record themselves or even mix themselves. I feel like this was like a step in like not like a different direction, but it was a little bit more of like a crispier, more like processed sound here. It wasn't by much, but they're like Jordan's kind of like pushing the line with how they mix their vocals, especially with a lot of their recent submissions. So I'm definitely excited to see how Jordan progresses throughout the year and how they approach different tracks, right? So um vocal shining star. Uh, hmm. Writing is really poetic, but to Jordan's credit, that's not something new. Um, but I do like the flow and cadence and delivery, and the hook, and it, I feel like if I said the hook, it would just kind of. Mm, I writing in general, if I'm being honest with myself, writing in general throughout the whole track was definitely impressive and something that was very rememberable about this for sure. Like if somebody heard this for the first time at the right time, this would nail them, like 100%. Because you know how you like certain songs, right? And some people don't really like them as much. They're like, yeah, it's a banger, but no, but you're like, yo, I love this fucking song. This would be one of those for somebody, right? A listener. And if they heard it at the right time in their life or like the right day, they'd be like, oh shit. You know what I mean? And they would love this shit. So it's definitely one of those tracks for me. Um so yeah, definitely writing and lyrics, no doubt. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums, vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. Shot, edited, everything by Jordan. I love this cover. I've always been a fan of these kind of uh like aesthetically pleasing covers, right? Whether it be nature, suburban environments. There's a couple of other like instances that I could think of, right? You could go look at many Jordan covers and find a lot of the same things, or even my own covers, or some of the more like aesthetically pleasing covers when it comes down to like this kind of style. And this one's so simple, but it totally gets the fucking job done, man. Like I love covers like these because you could just barely like make out like the house and the tree line, and like the almost like faded vision of it is really crazy. So I'm a big fan of this one, and it doesn't take too much work to like put your own like spice on certain photos. You know what I mean? Like if you have a bunch of like photos that you haven't used yet, go and edit those because you can get a lot of like really interesting results that don't take like a lot of resources. So, um, I'm big on those. I always have been. You know what I mean? But overall theme. Uh, so the track still, right, and written under the wolf moon. So either which title you could go with, right? Because I definitely feel what Jordan was going for there, but I feel like lyrically, this is a very like not like positive song, but again, it's a song where like you have somebody writing about persevering, right? And no matter like what they go through or X, Y, or Z, like they're like, yep, still here, still doing this, still doing X, Y, or Z. So there's a lot of like really important parts in this track that are like, okay, like you kind of like understand the mindset that Jordan has, but it's also a very like much like last week's track. It's very like self reflective track, right? Because even if Jordan is kind of like looking towards the future, I always find that some of their lyrics are very um not like centered on the past. I feel like centered on the past is a very like strong term, but they always mention the past, right? Especially that 17 line. And I think things like that are great because it's always good to reflect, reflect on life, on progress, on goals, on things like that. But this is a very like looking towards the future kind of track, but it's also very like aware, very aware for sure. So this is another solid one from Jordan, man. We're getting a lot of like very deep tracks here, but they're not like deep in the first thing you think of when you hear deep. It's very interesting, man. Very interesting. So well done, my friend. Make sure you go follow Jordan. Jordan is approaching 80 followers on SoundCloud, man. They're one away, so go show him some love. And of course, make sure you follow Jordan on Twitter. They're 6 followers away from 370. They're a producer that is looking to get beats to people, so go show Jordan some love on the Bird app and hit him up to work. But per usual, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays podcast. We are approaching 260 subscribers, man. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, all that good stuff's available over there. So go show these artists on the channel some love. And if you already have, thank you, thank you, thank you. So that does it for all of our patrons for the night, man. Huge shout out to Blank Thought and Jordan. But let's hop down to the community submissions for the night. So First up would be the homie Pooh, but we actually reacted to this track last week. So if you're interested in what we thought about Thought You Should Know by Pooh, definitely go check out episode 157, the Music Bunnies podcast. And Pooh, feel free to resubmit next week with a track that we haven't reacted to, and we'll be happy to react to it. Huge shout out to Pooh. But, up next, we have the homie Lil Derek and their first submission of 2024. So, Derek is a very, very talented hip hop artist that, again, had a very stellar 2023. We reacted to a lot of their drops for sure. But this week they submitted "Smooth Criminal," and I believe, is it a music video? No, I don't think it is. Let's check it out. Is it? Oh shit, it is. Let's go. Okay, okay. So wait, it might not exactly be a music video. Hold on. This is exciting. Okay, so we got like a little. Oh, it's live. Oh, that's fire. What? That's fire. Okay. Okay. So we got the homie Lil Derek here with Massa Lee and Calabeats and Smooth Criminal. So one can only assume that we're gonna be getting a Smooth Criminal sample here. So let's find out and see what we got here. Lil Derek, Smooth Criminal, live.
What's the word? It's your boy Lil Derek. We live at the Create Place. This is my new song, Smooth Criminal, from my latest EP, Pimpin' Since 98. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Indiana Jenkins. I didn't know we was still whooping niggas. Fine. Bitch, you got 45 seconds and I'm late.
Look. You fucking with a smooth criminal. As a man, try to keep my feelings minimal. Took a chance on myself, it was pivotal. Now we counting up bands from residuals. You fucking with a smooth criminal. As a man, try to keep my feelings minimal. I took a chance on myself, it was pivotal. And now we counting up bands from residuals. 110, 98, a star was born. Seen a goat, now she say she love Capricorns. Ain't in the horoscopes, crystals wrapped around her arms. I got her wrapped around my fingers, got no need for yarn. Just put a diamond choker around her neck. Ironic, she tell me choke her when we having sex. If I'm the Joker, then she Harley Quinn in the flesh. A little bipolar, but so am I. So when I say that, it's just to deflect. You fucking with a smooth criminal. As a man, try to keep my feelings minimal. I took a chance on myself, it was pivotal. And now we counting up bands from residuals. Look,
Damn.
fucking with a smooth criminal. As a man, I try to keep my feelings minimal. Took a chance on myself, it was pivotal. And now we counting up bands from residuals. Angelina, are you okay? Angelina, are you okay? Look, yeah, I did you bad and my apology was so late. The way you make me feel, tell me you've been listening to what folks say. The man in the mirror living by double standards. He was fucking on Dirty Diana. Said they was just good friends and you never trusted that answer. That Liberian girl was a cancer, but not her zodiac sign. Into his mind. Slowly destroyed his
Oh
loyalty.
shit.
Time. Killed the relationship, that won't be the last homicide out his house. Waiting for him to arrive with something to blow his mind. With a smooth criminal. As a man, I try to keep my feelings minimal. Took a chance on myself, it was pivotal. And now we counting up bands from residuals. You fucking with a smooth criminal. As a man, try to keep my feelings minimal. I took a chance on myself, it was pivotal. And now we counting up bands from residuals. Yeah.
Damn.
It's more than music.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. It's your boy Lil Derek, man.
What a fade out, bro. That was solid as hell. Oh man. What a first submission for 2024, man. That's actually crazy. Homie can spit. Goddamn, I agree. Ghost, what's up, homie? Hope you're well. Welcome on in. Welcome. So, that was fantastic. Let's talk about it, man. Let's wow. Okay. So this wasn't exactly a music video like I anticipated, right? But it's almost better, right? It's somewhat of like a live version of the track. So this is actually crazy. And also, I totally thought it was about to be a Smooth Criminal sample, but it wasn't. But it was just as good, so that's okay. Um, because there was a couple lines here that paid homage, man. Paid homage. So I like that. I like that. Because of course, how the fuck are you gonna get around the Smooth Criminal sample, bro? Um, but yeah. So, let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. So, let's talk instrumental. Instrumental is fucking fantastic. Like, especially hearing it in this capacity, right? We kind of have this like full on experience here. So this was great. Mix is solid, nothing clashing, too overbearing. Has that like laid back Lil Derek kind of vibe that we're very much used to. So I like the choice in general, right? Um, so like absolutely zero gripes on this, man. Like zero gripes at all. Um, vocals sit nice, drums cut through nicely, melody's great, structure's great. Like yeah, no, like nothing that even like grazed my mind. So yeah, no. Instrumental mix is fantastic. Instrumental Shining Star. Um hmm. I really feel like it has to be the melody. I like the drums were definitely a close second, but the melody is so recognizable and it's definitely going to be something you remember about this track. Not even a question. For me, definitely the melody, for sure. Um let's talk vocals. Vocal mix is great, especially for again the live version. Like Derek is an artist, right? For those of you that are new to the Music Mondays podcast, this is definitely an artist that has a wonderful natural voice, right? So they never really needed a lot of processing. I mean, I'm sure they sound great with it, right? On a certain track or X, Y, or Z, things like that. But um, like especially in this light, I think this mix is fucking fantastic. Again, vocals sit nice in the instrumental, nothing clashing, too overbearing, nothing that really like threw me off or anything like that. Nothing that was like too much, right? I definitely think it was very much on point. Right where you'd want them to be, if we're like totally being honest. So vocal mix, fantastic. Um, vocal shining star. The verses were crazy. The writing overall was crazy. The flow cadence was definitely up there. Um, but I think the hook is something that really stuck with me, especially on like the first listen. And I know it would stick with others too, right? I definitely think the hook is like really up there. So hook very much important, very very much important. It's just one of those things that I can see people going back for, man. So definitely the hook for me. Um, writing close second. Flow and cadence definitely a close second, but hook absolutely. Um, the hook stuck in my head. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, no, the hook is something that I feel like it would just stick with you for sure, especially like off the first list. Um, so instrumental solid. Um, definitely the melody. Um, vocal solid. Definitely the hook. So let's talk about the video that we have here because it's somewhat of a like you could classify it as a music video, but it's more of a live segment, right? Like Smooth Criminal live. So first off, couple things. The concept is fantastic. We need more artists doing this at this level, right? Because Derek has been on their grind, and this is like the perfect thing to like showcase their work in like a different light, right? So the fact that they're even doing this and going out of their way to get this done is fucking great. So we need more artists like this to do shit like this because Derek's music is fantastic. But how can you get it to people in like a different light? And I've been talking about this like on the show like a lot. And this is one of those segments that I'm talking about, right? For those of you that watch the show as of recently, Laverius has been doing like a short form, um, kind of content segment where they kind of have like a behind the scenes and shows them recording and remixing and things like that. And this is just another segment just like that you can really like showcase your work in in like a different light, right? And obviously this one is much more um um complex, but the whole theme kind of still stands, right? It's just another way to really showcase your music and really get out there as far as like look like this is what it could look like, or this is what it does look like, X, Y, or Z. So the concept itself is fucking great. um the other thing here that I think is really solid is the lyrics on screen. Like the lyrics on screen brings like a whole other form of intimacy. I think having the lyrics on screen is everything here. So, for instance, this doubles down as like a lyric video. You know what I mean? Like it really could double down as a lyric video. I think that's one thing that, didn't really like take a lot of like much more effort than there already was. But I think this put this over as like a really like it pushes the quality of this even further, 100%. And then the fact that it's filmed in one shot, it's just fantastic. It is just absolutely fucking fantastic. And then the final thing too, as I'm watching this back, is we've seen a couple videos from Derek, right? At least two for sure. But again, I just want to point out Derek's super comfortable, right? Like even not even like, well, it's a lot easier to like be, you know, in a video doing like off guard shots and kind of like doing a different setting, but this is like a one take kind of deal, right? So I think Derek did a really good job kind of sitting down and really spitting this, right? Like I think the whole performance was fantastic. Like this was a one shot. So like that's one thing I want to stress too is like that doesn't like come easy. You know what I mean? It's not like you walk in the studio and you bang this out first try. It's not like that. This is definitely like, this is one where it's like holy shit. Um this takes like a lot of skill, 100%, no doubt. So this is a great concept, and you don't have to do this for like every song, but you have like like a star track on an EP or a project or things like that. You could do different forms of content like this that I think really push tracks over the edge. So well done, well done. With that said, huge shout out to Lil Derek. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go sub to Lil Derek, man. They're 8 subs away from 470. And of course, make sure you follow Derek on Twitter. They're approaching 3.5K on Bird app. So we'll show him some love over there. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 260 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good stuff available over there on the channel. So go show us some love over there. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate it here at Music Mondays. So, let's continue on, my friends. Up next, we got the homie Patterns. Now, it's been like roughly a couple of weeks. We heard from Patterns, not like crazy long ago. Probably about a couple of weeks, but a very talented alternative artist submitted a, I believe, brand new music video. Actually, IU2RTW. That's a crazy ass acronym. let's pop this open in a new tab and see what we got here. So again, Pattern's a very talented artist. They submitted IUTRT. I wonder what that's an acronym for. I guess we're gonna find out. Man. Produced by Lil Wet Wet. Okay. Directed and edited. Shot by Ozzy. Makeup by Ozzy. Okay, this is gonna be fire. Lots of love in the comments. We love that. We absolutely love. Wait, is there a "Come to Brazil" comment? Come to Brazil is comedy. There's always one. Literally always one, man. Alright, let's get it. Lil Wet Wet, aka Patterns, IU2RT. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Fuck it, dude. Who else got it, huh?
Holy shit. Wow. Wow. Okay. Holy shit. That was wow. That was such a trip, man. Um Video was nuts. That's one that 100%, right? That you spin back instantly and you just watch it again because you, like it, it's like a movie, man. Like you just miss certain things and you're like, "Oh shit. I never noticed that in the first watch." You know what I mean? It's like, "What the fuck?" Um okay, so let's break this down. We're going to talk about three things. We're going to talk about the instrumental. We're going to talk about vocals, and we're talking about the official video for this track. So, shit. Let's talk instrumental because this was prod Lil Wet Wet, and I don't think we might have reacted to like a collab from them with another producer before, but uh I don't think that we've ever reacted to a solo instrumental. And this was like spot on. Like this is a fucking Lil Wet Wet type beat if I had ever heard one for sure. Like this is not something that you could find on fucking your average beat store. Okay, that's for sure. Very unique and fast paced, high energy, everything you'd want from Lil Wet Wet instrumental for sure. Uh, so let's talk mix. Mix is fantastic. Um, Especially for somebody we don't always see producing their own instrumentals, right? I think producing your own instrumentals is great. Um, but all the artists that usually do sometimes like to branch out, right? So maybe you might not see people do it as often. Um, but when they do, it really hits. It really, really fucking hits. So with that said, the mix is great. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Nothing that definitely um threw me off at all. Let's check the description too. Yeah, so I would assume I would assume the mix is by Wet Wet as well. Um, the whole nine. So that kind of goes back to the usual theme that we've been having tonight. Is it's really not a shocker, right? I definitely don't think that's a shocker whatsoever. This is an artist that's had a very consistent mix when it comes to their instrumental and vocals and just tracks in general. I definitely think they've always had a very consistent, for sure. Um, so not a shocker here, but something you always want to point out and talk about, right? So no shocker, but mix super super solid. Um, let's talk instrumental shining star. Oh man, the the drums are up there, right? I definitely think the drums are up there, but um melody is something that's like eh, that'll get stuck in your head for sure. And it brings like the high energy, fast pace, like in your face kind of vibe. So I'm not gonna lie, probably melody. Probably melody. Drums are a close second. I like the structure too, but definitely melody for sure. Definitely melody. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Fan fucking tastic. Again, Lil Wet Wet is an artist that has their vocals on lock, right? They know what they want to sound like on certain tracks. They know what to do on certain tracks. They are always improving their mix. So again, not really a shocker, but for those new listeners and viewers out there, again, another very consistent artist when it comes to their vocals. Um, but on this track in particular, fantastic, especially being a self-produced track. Nothing clashy, too overbearing. Vocals sit nice, drums cut through nicely. Nothing that really like threw me off. Especially with how good like the glitches are and chops and just how well put together everything is. I definitely didn't think the mix was off putting whatsoever. I actually like the mix a lot. So mix fantastic. Vocal shining star. Um, hmm. I like everything about these vocals, right? Everything from hook, flow and cadence, the writing. This one's kind of hard to pick. Mm, damn. I'm no. Honestly, honestly, if we're being real, I think the flow and cadence and delivery and the overall vocal style here was fantastic. Like just the overall like way that Wet Wet carries themselves is fantastic. Like it's got to be flow and cadence and delivery. It just keeps up that fast paced energy that the instrumental introduces, right? I definitely think Patterns like it really keeps up with that. So that's what I love about this for sure. But writing definitely close second. But flow and cadence and delivery for sure. Um, well, let's talk about the video. So self-directed, couple of heads involved, right, in music and filming and things like that. But this is one for the ages. We've reacted to quite a few Lil Wet Wet videos, and this is by far one of the most impressive in terms of concepts, location, edit, and overall like really just pushing the bar with their own directing and their own videos and their pretty much everything. You know what I mean? So there was like so many redeeming factors here. I think all around this video was fucking great. But this has that like darkness that I think this track needed, right? Because there are like a few like I guess personal but more lines and lyrics on like the darker side. And uh the angel concept and a lot of like the like close up like almost like apartment like shots go so well with this. Like it definitely brings that like fallen angel vibe, but it has that like dark grittiness to it that I think the track needed. You know what I mean? Like I feel like Lil Wet Wet really knew the vision that this track brought. And I think that's something to not be understated is to just kind of like have a perfect vision and actually execute it. I definitely think they executed it perfectly. You know what I mean? Because there's enough split shots in between. Like, okay, we have like the angel shots, right? Like you see there on screen, and then you have these like close up like apartment, like hallway, almost like grittier kind of like shots, right? So I almost feel like it's like a yin and yang kind of feel. And then with that said, the post processing is fantastic because this grid like editing is just bringing that digital vibe that Patterns kind of brings on almost every single one of their tracks. But I feel like this is a video that almost represents Lil Wet Wet in like under 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Like there's almost everything that you'd want in a Lil Wet Wet video in this, and not to mention it's fantastic. Like when it comes to the actual directing portion of this, so the angles, the locations. Lil Wet Wet, we've seen so many of their videos that it's no surprise that they're very comfortable on camera. So not a shocker there, but they look really solid in this video as far as like comfortability, really kind of like bringing the passion behind the song, you know what I mean? But also kind of like nailing the feeling to it. There's a lot that goes into this, and I think they really did a good job on the execution. 100%. Well done. With that said, huge shout out to Lil Wet Wet. Make sure you go subscribe to their YouTube. They are 90 subscribers away from 400, or 10 away from 320. So go show them some love, and of course, make sure you go show them some love on Twitter. They are 6 followers away from 450. Go show them love on the Bird app, my friend. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 260 subscribers on the channel, man. I think we're about 6 away. So make sure you go show these artists and the channel some motherfucking love. We upload 2 times a week. Every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good stuff is available over there on the channel. So go show these artists and the channel some love. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Really dig in your thoughts and reviews. Appreciate it. That is the caption from our next submission from the Single Digits. Very, very interesting. So the Single Digits has been coming through with some bangers for us to react to here on the show. So I'm definitely down. But the Single Digits, a very, very talented alternative vocalist and / group, submitted Her Kisses on Fire by Single Digits. Well, shit. Let's check it out. So we got the usual. Let's go YouTube and see what we got. Alright, give that a quick pause. Go a little 720. Saturday Fight Fever. Oh, okay, so this is 2 months ago. So they did a little bit of a switcheroo with their cover art. Interesting. Alright. This came out in November, so not old whatsoever. Not exactly brand new. But let's get into it. Single Digits, Kisses on Fire. Okay.
Ever lost your breath? Can you see the depth of how much her love consumes? All that I know, all I have to give is lying here next to you. I would never sell my soul. I can never truly hold my own. Having you next to me, I would have to risk everything. Her kisses on fire warms me to the core.
What a banger.
I desire leaves me wanting more. Danger to the touch as I hold her in my arms. Her kisses on fire can't hold back anymore.
Damn.
I don't wanna know, I don't wanna change how she makes me feel so right. I cannot get past, never looking back. Just let us have the night. I would never sell my soul. I can never truly hold my own. Having you next to me, I would have to risk everything. Her kisses on fire.
This is a fucking banger. This is actually crazy.
to the touch as I hold her in my arms. Her kiss is on fire, can't hold back anymore. Her kiss is on fire, warms me to the core. Her lips I desire, leaves me wanting more. Danger to the touch as I hold her in my arms. Her kiss is on fire, can't hold back anymore. Her kiss is on fire. Her kiss is on fire.
Wow.
Her kiss is on fire.
That is a fucking gem. That was really crazy. Like, really, really fucking crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Um, Probably the most well-constructed track that we've heard from the Single Digits yet. Um, wow. I What the fuck? That was that's a hit. That's definitely a hit for sure. That's definitely a hit, 100%. Well, let's talk about it, man. Let's break it down. So we're gonna talk about three things. We're talking about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals. Talk about the overall theme of Her Kiss Is on Fire. Um, so let's talk instrumental. I can't even stress to you guys how crazy this mix is. It's fantastic. It is fantastic. This is one of the cleanest mixes that we've heard for a track like this in quite some time, right? Because this is more of like an instrumental based track. Um, so man, like no gripes at all. Melody's great, drums are great, vocals sit nice, nothing clashing to overbearing, everything's super level. Um, Nothing that kind of strikes me off like at all, bro. Like whatsoever. So the instrumental extremely very solid, just beyond words. Um, so instrumental definitely up there for sure. Instrumental Shining Star is without a doubt the melody. The melody is something that I think not only is super catchy, but brings a lot of that emotion that this track needs without kind of slowing down the track. If you, it kind of has that like a little bit of upbeat flavor to it, but it still brings the emotion. So definitely the melody for sure is the star there. Uh, Drums and structure are for sure right behind it, but melody, all day melody. Um, hmm. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Let's talk vocals. Vocals are fucking fantastic. Again, much like the instrumental, nothing clashing to. Vocals sit nice on the instrumental. Drums cut through nicely. Uh, like this is such a crispy mix on it. I don't. There's nothing you could do to this mix that would improve it at all. Like this is one of the like this is the peak sound for this kind of alternative style. It's so crisp, it's clean, but it leaves like the raw emotion. You know what I mean? Like even down to the instrumentals, like you just tell it's very natural. You know what I mean? So I feel like whatever was done with this mix is fucking perfect. So vocal mix absolutely right on point. Um, hmm. Vocal Shining Star. Uh, it's got to be the hook. Got to be the hook for sure. Vocal Shining Star's got to be the hook. Um, because the verses were great, the writing was fantastic, but the hook is something again super catchy, super like holy shit. But also at the same time, it's like that's what's gonna draw you back to this track, right? I feel like the hook is gonna be something that really draws you back to this track. So, definitely the hook. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody, vocal solid, definitely the hook. Let's talk themes. So aesthetics. I would assume this track is off of a project, right? So that's why the Single Digits logo slightly edited with another title on it. So the Single Digits kind of slowly branching out and starting to show certain tracks a bit of love, right? Because first couple tracks have really always been the Single Digit cover. So you'll kind of know, you'll always know when you're you're listening to a Single Digits track. That's for sure. But the aesthetic's definitely on point. Uh, Keeps the minimalistic vibes as well. But solid cover, especially for a project slash single, definitely. Um, Overall theme: Her Kiss is on Fire. So relatively obvious theme within the hook, but it's definitely a little bit deeper than that, right? I definitely think um Single Digits was really touching on a couple different things, right? That feeling of kind of like knowing that you're like really into somebody and like have, maybe a relationship with them, or even just like somewhat of like a situationship, right, if you will. And the constant internal struggle of kind of like knowing better for yourself, but also realizing that, like, humans are natural. They are very natural emotion bearing creatures. So there is a bit of tug of war going on in this track, to kind of stay on track and be true to yourself and not do anything stupid, but also kind of recognizing that, like, certain people are kind of rare when it comes to, life and, your life and, personal relationships and things like that. So I definitely think Single Digits did a good job touching on what that feels like to kind of have that internal struggle, So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the Single Digits. Make sure you go sub to their channel and go show some love on YouTube. And of course, make sure you subscribe, or no, make sure you follow the Single Digits on Twitter. They are one follower away from 420. So cool milestone. Go get them 420, man. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We are approaching 260 subscribers. So make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love. We upload 2 motherfucking times a week. Every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good stuff over there, man. So go show these artists in the channel some love. And if you already have, and you're watching our videos, we appreciate you and we see you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my friends. So, we left off with the homies Single Digits. Up next, we got Survival and Negativity, aka Sin. Now, Sin's a very, very talented hip-hop artist, and they submitted, not sure if I sent this one before, if not, enjoy. Gonna be positive. Wallflower's Anthem from our Nightlife for Thinking Introverts. Hope you enjoy, and thanks for listening. I don't believe this one was sent. Yeah, I don't think so. So we did Jukebox. We definitely did Midnight Society. There was a couple of these that we did, but I definitely don't think we did this one. Yeah, no, I definitely don't recognize that title. So let's get into it. Survival and Negativity, Wallflower's Anthem, let's go.
Party people.
Nah.
The lights and lampshades. Proudly presents. Don't shake your head at me, girl. I'm trying to fill the space here, alright? You ain't making it easy for me. Check. Yo. It sound like when D used to drag me and Ray to Micah parties with the hipster kids playing Atmosphere and Bob Marley.
Holy
Used to find
shit.
hardly any pleasure in the scene. I mean, random social settings never really been my thing. Besides, I don't drink, don't smoke neither, and no one knows what to say to make the sober kid seem a bit less out of place. God bless the ones who tried to catch a vibe with someone who thought himself more or less from outer space when trying to replicate what he saw his friends do and generate a convo out of thin air. To him, you make it look so easy, just like on the TV with the rom-coms in the background, songs sweeping. Some nights better than than others. One evening just fine goes by without me even frequently checking the time. Watching Shadowwood of Colossus, living room gameplay, and chatting about the complexity of Slug's rhymes on the Lucy Ford album. Then you get the duds, the ones that beg the question why you ever left your residence, where everything's a lesson in hindsight, hilarity, but in the present feels like death. I remember one instance, the German kid with green hair made a joke about these people's rhythm. How I didn't get it is absurd. He said in America you clap to the beat, but where I'm from it seems we're clapping to the words. I didn't laugh, thinking he was sharing culture with me. He said that was a joke, it was like a boulder hit me. Forehead, dummy smack, could've had a V8. He just got up and left to look for someone else to relate. Jeez, I'm like, oh, did that really just happen? I just need a scene people like me can relax in. I'ma set up a house party just for us. For what? No one will show up. Well, alright, when I say hip, y'all say, yeah, we're not gonna do that, bro. Like, it's kind of played out. Yeah. Back to the hook. Yo. Well, the party ain't a party till the people don't bother and nobody RSVPs. And it ain't no need to wonder how we brought it all under. Rather stay home and watch TV. Everybody now, side to side, left to right. Wave if you rather be by yourself tonight. Say side to side, left to right. Wave if you rather be by yourself tonight. People like, yo, why would you wait for that? You can't hook your children with nuclear arms, Chris.
That was gas. That was gas. That was a really good way, right? To, bring a somewhat of a fun kind of like good vibes track to a project that's otherwise very serious, right? I definitely think Nightlife for introverts serious project. There's a lot of facts on this project for sure, especially in the intro. But for this track in particular, I definitely feel like they had a lot of fun with this, man. This is like one of those tracks you make at like 4 a.m. You know, you're partying, you're fucking you're doing whatever, bro, right? And I think this is kind of the fun shit that you can come up with if you let it flow. And man, they definitely did. So let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about three things. We're talking about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals. Talk about the overall theme of Wallflower's Anthem. So let's talk instrumental. Instrumental's fantastic. I like the choice, especially hearing quite a few tracks off of this project. I definitely like the instrumental a lot. I feel like it's very consistent as well. So choice is solid. Mix is great. Nothing clashing to overbearing. I love the melody. It's very front and center. Drum selection solid. Drums cut through nicely. Everything's nice and level. Nothing threw me off about this whatsoever. So the mix is great. Instrumental Shining Star. I like the drums, but I feel like the melody is so front and center and plays such a crucial role in this track. I'm definitely gonna go ahead and say melody, 100%. But drums and structure are a close second for sure. But definitely the melody for sure. Hmm. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, fantastic. Sin is an artist that has a relatively consistent vocal mix, right? Even for a lot of like their earlier tracks that we've heard, their vocals have always been super top tier to me. Again, they have a very solid natural voice, so minimal processing is needed, and Survival definitely lets their natural vocals shine. But very crisp, very clean, and definitely solid for sure. Um, hmm. Um, so vocal mix solid. Vocal shining star. For both Sin and Be Positive. Um, I do like the writing throughout the whole track. I definitely think the writing was really insane for both of these artists. I'm not gonna lie. But then there's also flowing cadence as well. But I feel like the writing is what made this track fun and like more like very just. It was a very fun track in the terms of like what it related to the EP, right? So I do feel like writing is really front and center here. If I'm being honest with you, like not only were the verses well written, but they were well performed as well. So gotta be writing, 100%. Uh, So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme here. So aesthetics. This is a little bit of a different cover than the full EP. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume that this was a single that dropped before the EP dropped. And this one was kind of crazy because it brings that like late night vibe to me, and that's exactly like what I felt on this for sure. Like it just had that like late night 3 a.m. 4 a.m. like we're recording in the studio, we're partying, we're doing whatever. This is that to me for sure. So I definitely think that this was like very very not even a question. Um it's kind of like one of those one-offs, right? Because you're doing a waterfall release, and you're like, okay, here's the first single off the project. You know the rest. You know what I mean? So, aesthetics on point, 100%. Um, hmm. Overall theme, right? Wallflowers Anthem. I definitely, it's a very interesting track, right? Because I didn't think that they wanted this one to be like too crazy, and especially this being like the single. I'm probably gonna assume that this was done before the project was done, right? So there's a little bit of a difference that kind of goes on here when it comes down to like um how this track fits into the rest. But I definitely think that this was like a start of their idea, right? And then they were like, we should do a whole project like this, So I feel like this is like the inception of nightlife for introverts. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel like this is a little bit of like a starter to that, and really introduces people to like what they're actually trying to say in their message, right? But also still be subtle and still kind of come correctly lyrically for sure, because this isn't just like a goofy meme project. This is a very um well written, well orchestrated, and well thought out project. You know what I mean? And this is one of those tracks that like really represents it in a lighter fashion for sure. And I definitely think they did a really good job with that. So well done. This is a great addition to the whole project for sure. With that said, huge shout out to Sin. Make sure you go follow them on Bandcamp, and of course, make sure you follow Sin on Twitter. They're approaching 320 followers on the Bird app, so go show them some love over there. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 260 subscribers, my friend. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good stuff available over there, man. So go show these artists on the channel some love. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you. Ree, what's good? I hope you're well. Welcome on in. Happy motherfucking Monday, or your Tuesday. Welcome on in. Yeah, baby. Okay, so we're about halfway through the show, so you guys know the motherfucking drill. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we return, we're gonna hop right back into our community submissions, my friends. We have quite a few to go, so let's fucking get it, baby. But yeah, with that said, I'm gonna need you guys to get up, go get a drink, go get a snack, go do whatever you gotta do. Maybe go walk the dog, go stretch your legs. And when we return, we're gonna go right back into our community submissions. So stay tuned. Let's fucking get it. Happy motherfucking Monday. Let's fucking get it, ready? Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live with the Music Mondays podcast, episode 158. Let's get it up. We had a good break, but it's time to get back into some community submissions. So, we left off with the homie Survival and Negativity. Up next is the homie Braden. Now, Braden had a stellar 2023, without a doubt. Very consistent, high quality, very talented, up-and-coming alternative artist. But they submitted a track titled Violence. We've been going crazy, people just starting to notice. Okay, Brady, okay. Love that. No, yeah, we can definitely attest to that on the Music Mondays podcast, man. We know that for a fact, for sure. So, let's get it. Braden, Violent.
Yeah, and I know the chopper ain't gay, yeah, but I know it's swing both ways, yeah. Fuck up a check, I put me on it, I fuck it up and put all my weed on it. I feel that bitch on her knees and I see on it. Rapping so loud so these niggas can't sleep on me. Yeah, hopping and beat on my float, yeah. Water on me like a boat, yeah. That boy think it's all jokes, yeah. Running away, who smokes, yeah. Got enough firming coat, yeah. What about the guns you don't tote, yeah. So Kodak, let me draw the boat, yeah. When you see us, it gets violent. Silent, stacking my chips, my shit stay piling. Getting so high like a fighter pilot. That boy tweaking, that boy wildin'. You know a motherfucker flying private. You can just look at the motherfucking mileage. Tell my brother to go start a riot. Hold up, bitch.
Damn.
Hold up, bitch.
Okay, that outro is definitely crazy. What a track from Braden, man. Literally, what a track. Ow. So Braden's really locking down this high energy kind of style, man. This very, very high energy kind of style, and I'm here for it. Let's break it down. So we're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme, violent. All right, so let's talk instrumental. Mix is fantastic. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Especially for something that was so like in your face, right? The melody's high energy, the drums are high energy, drums are hard hitting as well. So with everything going on, right? It's a really big W that this mix is really solid for sure. So mix definitely up there. Nothing I would really like switch up too hard. I'm definitely a big fan of the mix. For sure. Instrumental Shining Star. Mm, hmm. You know, the melody's definitely up there, but the drums are something else, man. The drums are really, really something else, if I'm being honest with you. Um, the drums just have so much personality. It's really hard not to pick them, and plus the sound selection's like really up to par. So for me, definitely the drums for sure. Definitely the drums. Um, hmm. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. Uh, Vocal mix fantastic for both Braden and Vuitton. I honestly wouldn't change a thing. I think they both sound really solid on this. Definitely a little bit more like a clash of like styles here, but a clash in like a good way. I definitely don't mean in a bad way. These are two artists that I think blend really well together. But as I said in the past before, Braden's an artist that can really work well with so many different types of artists, and this is for sure proof of that. Um, so with that said, the mix is fantastic. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Vocals sit nice on the instrumental. Drums cut through nicely. Everything's very, very solid. Very solid. Um, hmm. Vocal shining star. Now, I like writing for both. I definitely like the flow and cadence, but something about the structure really kind of uh got to me because it was almost in like the anthem kind of style, right, where they were like trading verses back and forth, and it almost felt like the anthem cipher kind of feel, but it wasn't at the same time. It was a little bit different, you know what I mean? So I really like the vocal structure and how they almost tag team throughout the whole song. um so I think vocal structure is definitely up there for me. So instrumental solid. Um, Definitely the drums, vocal solid, definitely the structure. Let's talk theme. So, aesthetics. Braden, like I said last week, has been opting for more of a real art style, and this one definitely shows here for sure this week. Um, Going a little bit more into like the like subliminal messages here, right? Because you kind of have this figure like looking down to like this pit of darkness with like eyes looking up at it, right? And song being titled Violent, and then lyrically definitely more like aggressive, high energy track. You know, a little bit of symbolism there for kind of like going to the dark side, or kind of touching that violent side of like certain things, right? So a little bit of symbolism there, but solid cover nonetheless. Definitely solid cover. Overall theme. Mm, well, I mean, the overall theme is relatively solid, right? I mean, it's definitely a high energy, high impact kind of get rowdy kind of track for sure. This is definitely one of those tracks you're gonna want to go running to. You're gonna want to hit the gym. You're gonna want to clean the crib. You're gonna want to do things like that to this kind of track for sure. And that's what makes Braden's style so versatile, right? Because they can make any kind of track, right? Something to kick back and smoke to, something to get in your feels to, something to really turn up to. And this is more on like the turn up side, right? So, um, lyrically, this is definitely more of like a showcase and show of writing ability. Um, but it just goes to show that Braden can really rock with almost any style or genre. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Make sure you go follow Braden on Spotify, and of course, make sure you follow Braden on Twitter. They're approaching literally 70 followers. Man. Congrats on 6. Fucking get it. 10 away from 70, so go show Braden some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 260 subscribers on the main channel, friends. We're making that push to 300, so very, very close. Very close. Of course, we upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good stuff is available over there on the YouTube channel. And of course, if you already have, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So we left off with the homie Braden. Up next is the homie Ghost Candy. I believe this is their first submission of 2024, man. So let's fucking get it. Ghost Candy, a very talented alternative producer and vocalist, submitted Awake, first track off the new project. The whole project been cooking for a while, so I'm excited to see what y'all think. Oh, we are ready. We are 100% ready. So, let's pop this open a new tab. Pause that right quick. Got lyrics in description. We love that. Okay. Let's get into it. Ghost Candy, Awake. Yeah. Oh man. Damn. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Well done. Holy shit. That was just such a trip. Like, things like that, man, are just like that kind of track, it takes you on a motherfucking journey. That's for sure. Like that kind of thing definitely takes you on a journey, and that's exactly what that was, man. All right. All right. So, let's break this down and let's talk about it. So, we're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of this track. So, everything done by Ghost Candy: vocals, lyrics, production, and mixing. So, instrumental, instrumental mix, fantastic. Especially with the more electronic approach, right, and kind of mixing a bunch of vocals and dealing with a lot of like melodies that have like a lot of passion. Um, I noticed the instrumental mix was fantastic. You know what I mean? No gripes, nothing that really like threw me off or was like you know kind of off-putting, right? Especially with this more like electronic kind of style. I think that this is like everything, So you gotta have a solid mix, and that's exactly what we got here. And again, drums are great, vocals sit nicely. Nothing that really like threw me off at all, to be honest with you. Um, I'm a big fan of this instrumental for sure. Uh, Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand, you know, there's a lot I like about this, right? Drums, melodies are great. Structure's fucking fantastic. Uh, man, there's a couple of things, right? Especially like clocking in like over 3 minutes. Structure had to be like somewhat like cohesive, right? And I think Ghost Candy did a really good job with the structure. Sure. Uh, hmm. You know, I kind of want to say melodies, just because the melodies were very futuristic, electronic, synth, kind of, exactly the sound that Ghost Candy was going for. So I definitely want to don't understate that, right? I just feel like those melodies are like such a core to this track that they definitely can't be ignored. So definitely melodies of the Shining Star. Um, let's talk vocals. Vocal mix is great. Obviously, Ghost Candy was going for a more electronic, robotic kind of android vibe, and this is definitely something that we noticed in their last track, right? I'm pretty sure their last submission 3, and I definitely noticed that they had this kind of approach of this futuristic, 2932 in the future kind of vibe here. And that's what I thought was really fucking solid. But the vocals getting them to this point that they're so like you got to hit like a certain feel, because you can't just go and make like vocals robotic, right? You got to make them actually like feel futuristic and like an android or a robot, and I definitely think the mix achieved that for sure. And again, nothing clashing to overbearing. I thought the vocals sat great on the mix. I think cuts through nicely. I didn't think it threw anything off either. I definitely think it matches the instrumental. Like these intense kind of vocals don't really go on any other style of instrumental. This is really pushing that like electronic, alternate electronic, alt pop kind of, like even like alternative hip hop, right? Because you're mixing like a lot of good sounds here, but you're also staying true to like the electronic kind of vibe. So it's a good mix of styles here. So, um, um, yeah, mix is solid. No question. No question. Vocal shining star. Uh, hmm. I love the flow and cadence and delivery. I think the writing is fantastic. The writing is crucial to like that story element feel, but the flow and cadence and delivery to this was like what the fuck, you know what I mean? The flow, just the feel was everything. Just the overall performance was really fantastic. So definitely flow, cadence, and delivery. I feel like writing was a close second, but definitely flow and cadence and delivery. Um, the instrumental solid, definitely the melodies, the vocal solid. Definitely the flow and cadence. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics. Now we're going with the basic profile picture for the art on the track, which is an alright take. You know what I mean? You kind of get to keep the identity up. You go for like the minimalistic kind of vibe, and you just keep the regular sort of approach with it, right? Which I don't think is like a super bad thing at all. You know what I mean? Definitely solid art for a single, for sure. Just to keep it basic. Um, Overall theme. So the thing is with this track called The Wake, it's definitely written in like almost like a third person kind of perspective, right? Almost like from the POV of um an android, or some kind of like superficial uh human, right? Like I just get big future robot space kind of vibes with it, 100%. There's so much you could compare it to, but I think the story is what's gonna be the craziest part of this album. Because if you can like write a story, but also kind of like condense it into a track, man, it's something different. And this one definitely has a story. You know what I mean? This one definitely has a story, and especially with it kind of like kicking off with like awake and like being up and like feeling like the bright lights and all of that is like mentioned in detail, so I feel like Ghost really hit the nail on the head with like the POV of being an artificial human and waking up for the first time. Like this is insane writing. That's why writing was such a close second, but the way it was performed was crazy. This is a great story, and this is definitely an album you need to watch out for sure. So, with that said, huge shout out to Ghost Candy. Thank you so much for this. Much love. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud. They are 10 followers away from 90, so go show them some love. And of course, make sure you follow them on Twitter. They are 8 followers away from. So go show them some love on the Bird app as well. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 260 subscribers, man. We're on the push to 300. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff available over there, man. Go show these artists and the channel some love. Get it, baby. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So, let's get it. We left off with the homie Ghost Candy. Huge shout out to Ghost Candy. Up next we have Tired Runaway, aka an Alan K submission. So I am definitely down. Alan K, a super talented alternative slash hip hop artist, submitted "Remember Me" from 2024. Okay, so January 12th dropped like barely a week ago or so from the time of the show. Let's get into it. All right. Alan K, "Remember Me." Let's go.
My demons won't go away. It's like the wind. Exhale the smoke and it blow away. I'm always running late, I'm always stressed. I got some shit I gotta get off my chest. They moving too slow. Faster bitch on the leg. I'm with whatever and on the make. Might push you away. But deep down the truth is that baby, I might need your company. Hey, I got somewhere we can go. We can do that thing on the low. Your man ain't even got no. But beat that up till the sun come up. Till the sun go down. Bitch, quit talking about you gon' make it 5 rounds. I really do this, that's what I'm about. Look on your clip while you squirt on my mouth. I can do all of the things that he can. I can do all of the shit that he won't. You wanna hop in a plane to Japan. You can't do none of that shit cause he broke. Baby, I'm real as real gas. Gotta stay fresh 20,000 on my face. They talking that shit and pop out with the stick. If that shit don't work, stop them out with the Rick. Ring, 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 ring. Melody. All my own words that I made. I hope when it's my time it dies. The whole world gon' remember me. Once was blind, now I'm woke. Playing with the devil, I don't want no smoke. Falling fast, I'm losing hope. Put me out the draw, no fucking roll. Tell me why they tryna hate on them both. Bitch, if you want me, then pay me in full. I put the stick with the switch to your skull. Yeah, going down like JFK. Yeah, pull the cow, hit hard like a 808. Switch cars like a switch shoe. Jump shot like a fadeaway. I'm not the one, no, I don't give a fuck. Whoa. Tell your bitch that I'm running late. Skinny boy, but my dick game heavyweight. That's light work to a big guy like me. Tell them niggas suck. I'm making films like I'm Spike Lee. I am no Stanley Kubrick. I am just me, but bitch, I really do this. No, I ain't worried about you or your shooter. I'm not that light, but you already knew this. Ring, 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 ring. Melody. Oh, she gon' be my remedy. PCP amphetamine. This whole world gon' remember me. Once was blind, now I walk. Fighting with the devil, I don't want no smoke. Falling fast, I'm losing hope. Hold me on the dry, no fucking road.
Okay. All right. All right. I see you, Alan. All right. Much to discuss here, my friends. Much to discuss here because Alan's back with another high energy track. Except this one's a little bit different. So, let's talk about it, man. We are gonna talk about 3 things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of "Remember Me." So, let's talk instrumental. Instrumental is solid. I like the choice. I like the mix. It's definitely a very like Alan kind of vibe for sure from all the tracks that we've heard here on the show. So, 100% a solid choice. Mix is great. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Nothing that really like threw me off or anything like that. So far, Alan's been an artist that has always had like a really consistent mix, whether it be through their vocals or their instrumental. So mix absolutely fantastic. Instrumental shining star. Okay. I feel like melody definitely plays a good part. Structure also plays a good part, but I feel like the drums are a big player here for sure. especially drum selection and how they're mixed as well. So probably drums for me. It keeps up that rhythm and like high impact, but the melody kind of does the emotional work that this song needs. So definitely drums for sure. Definitely drums. Um, let's talk vocals. Vocal mix is fantastic. Again, much like the instrumental, Al's an artist that you know, you're kind of used to their solid vocal mix, but to any new listeners or viewers, this is definitely no surprise, right? This is definitely an artist who knows what they're doing. Definitely an artist that knows what they want to sound like on certain tracks, right? So vocal mix definitely solid. Everything sits right in the instrumental. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Nothing that really threw me off. You know what I mean? Um, vocal shining star. Um, the hook was solid, and I definitely like the writing. Um, but I think the flowing cadence and the overall performance of this, like the actual recording, is very solid. Um, just the flowing cadence and the flowing cadence inside the hook. So the hook and the writings are close second, but just the flowing cadence overall throughout the track is very solid, very solid. Not even a question. Um, again, that's going to be the thing that kind of takes you back because you're going to be able to get it stuck in your head and you'll be like, oh shit, this is a bop. You know what I mean? You're like, oh damn. So definitely flow cadence and delivery for sure. So instrumental solid. Definitely the drums, vocal solid. Definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. Theme. So aesthetics. Remember me. This one, we're going for more of like a IRL edited pic vibe here. I like. It's definitely like a performance shot, right? But then you spruce it up with a little edit, and you add the parental advisory bottom right. Definitely has that like, you know, ode to the song, right? Because remember me, and you take a photo of the show, and you're always gonna remember it. So it has a lot of symbolism and meaning here for sure. So definitely a solid um piece of single art for sure. Definitely a solid one. Um, hmm. Overall theme, right? So remember me. I definitely think it's like in the hook and like the first verse. You can definitely like gather up the theme there, right? Of just being remembered or wanting to be remembered or you're gonna remember me, right? But I think throughout the song, Alan kind of touches on different ways that people are gonna remember them and remember certain scenarios and remember other things, right? So it could be through personal relationships, it could be through beefs, it could be through your accomplishments, right? So there's a couple things here where I don't think it's just about remember me after I die kind of vibe. You know what I mean? I definitely think that's like a certain, meaning to an extent, but at the same time, um, Alan kind of touches on a couple different ways as to where you can leave an impact. So solid, very solid, my friend. Make sure you go follow Alan on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow Tired Runaway on Twitter. They are approaching 940 followers. So go show them some love, man. They're only 5 away. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 260 subscribers on the main channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the main channel some love. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good stuff. So go show these artists on the channel some love. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Fucking get it. So, we left off with the homie Alan K. Up next would be Blank Thought, but Blank Thought is a Music Mondays Patreon, and we've already reacted to their track earlier in the show. So definitely rewatch the show back and show Blank Thought some love. But up next is the homie Lavaries. Now, Lavaries has been really going to town on their new YouTube series, and I'm definitely excited to continue that. But Lavaries, a very talented underground hip hop artist, submitted Ear Candy Season 1, Episode 3. Let's fucking get it. I'm definitely excited to see what this week's is, man. I'm definitely excited, man. Let's check this out. Let's see what we got here from the homie Lavaries, man. Like, these are always about to be a vibe, for sure. Absolutely. All right. Volume up, quality up. Ear Candy, Never Lose Me, Season 1, Episode 3. Let's go. Song is all over TikTok. If anything, this series is going to show people how versatile Aries is.
Episode 3 of Ear Candy. We got Never Lose Me by Flo Milli. She already got two remixes of this. One with Yachty, one with Bryson Tiller. I'm finna hop on this. I heard SZA finna get on the remix, and I know that's gonna be crazy. So I'm finna hop on this. Wrote my verse last night, and I incorporated every song, the name of each song from my album, from my Soul to Your Ears, the 9 tracks. They show up in order in my verse, and so we'll go through it. When I get to that part, we finna hop in and record this hook. Tell me you don't never
That's
wanna
fine.
lose me. Speeding on this and I'm grabbing a thigh. We fucking for life, no lie. Ain't got no type, but I think she my type. My number one slut, I'm coming inside. Ain't even gotta tell her she mine. She already know that she mine. Ain't even gotta tell her she fine. She already know that she fine. She already know. I put it in her and look in her eyes. She want me to make her my wife. She sucking so good, we fucking all night. She ain't even gotta tell her she mine. I already know that she mine. I already know that she fine. I know you wanna know, look it up. I just hope you ain't waste my time. If sex on the weekends hit better than dope. We would be forever, but I didn't have a clue. I put it in her and look in her eyes. Sure they let me and let me stay high. Ain't got no type, but I think she my type. Tell me you don't never wanna lose me. 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 Never had a bitch like me. Never had a bitch like me in life. Never had a bitch like me in your life. Tell me you don't never wanna lose me. Speeding that niece and I'm grabbing the thigh. Speeding that niece and I'm grabbing the thigh. She already know that she mine. Ain't even gotta tell her she fine. She already know that she fine. She want me to make her my wife. She fucking so good. She fucking Speeding that niece and I'm grabbing it. What the hell? Speeding that niece and I'm grabbing it. Fucking for life, no lie. Never had a bitch like me in your life. You never had a bitch like me in your life.
Nah, this is gonna be good.
She already know that she mine. I'm sorry that you ain't never had a bitch like me in your life. Ain't even gotta tell her she mine. She already know that she mine. Ain't even gotta tell her she fine. She already know that she fine. Let me hit from that back, if you don't mind. 24/7, you stay on my mind. I love you more than I love getting high. Let me hit from that back, if you don't mind. She already know that she mine. Let me hit from that back, if you don't mind. 24/7, you stay on my mind. Let me hit from that back, if you don't mind. I really hope you ain't wasting my time. If so, you can't be my man no more. I'm beating that niece and I'm grabbing her thigh. We fucking for life, no lie. I put it in her and look in her eyes. Shorty let me in, let me stay high.
Dude, the process is great.
Ain't even gotta tell her she fine. She already know that she fine. Let me hear from that back, if you don't mind. 24/7, you stay on my mind. I love you more than I love getting high. I really hope I ain't wasting my time. If so, you can't be my main no more. Got attached, but I can't call you mine no more. Sex on the weekends hit better than dope. You loving this dick and she will too. I hope you hurt less than I do. When I find a new muse, I thought we would be forever, but I didn't have a clue. Nope. Speeding that niece and I'm grabbing her thigh. We fucking for life, no lie. I put it in her and look in her eye. For life, no lie. I put it in her and look in her eyes. Shorty love me and let me stay high. Ain't even gotta tell her she fine. She already know that she fine. Ain't even gotta tell her she mine. She already know that she mine. less than I do when I found a new muse. I thought we would be forever, but I didn't have a clue. No, speeding the knees and I'm grabbing her thigh. She want me to make her my wife. Lord, I'm coming inside all night.
That's gonna be pretty crazy.
She don't never wanna lose me. She ain't never gonna lose me, nah.
Aw, shit.
Ain't even gotta tell her she mine. She already know that she mine. Ain't even gotta tell her she fine. She already know that she fine. Ain't even gotta tell her she mine. She already know. Speeding the knees and I'm grabbing her thigh. We fucking for life, no lie. I put it in her and look in her eyes. Shorty love me and let me stay high. No type, but I think she my type. She want me to make her my wife. She sucking so good, we fucking all night. My number one slut, I'm coming inside. Ain't even gotta tell her she mine. She already know that she mine. Ain't even gotta tell her she fine. She already know that she fine. Ain't even gotta tell her she mine. She already know that she mine. Ain't even gotta tell her she fine. She already know that she fine. Let me hit from the back if you don't mind. 24/7 you stay on my mind. I love you more than I love getting high. I really hope you ain't wasting my time. If so, you can't be my main no more. I don't got a touch, but I can't call you mine no more. Sex on the weekends hit better than dope. You loving this dick and she will too. I hope you hurt less than I do when I find a new muse. I thought we would be forever, but I didn't have a clue. Nope. Speeding her knees on my hand on her thigh. We fucking for life, no lie. I put it in her and look in her eyes. Shorty love me and let me stay high. Ain't got no type, but I think she my type. She want me to make her my wife. She sucking so good, we fucking all night. My number one slut, I'm coming inside. She don't ever wanna lose me. 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 She ain't never gonna lose me, nah.
Okay.
It's an amazing beat, It's so good.
It is good. It's really good.
There you have it. Episode 2 of Ear Candy.
Wait, was that episode 3?
By Flo Milli.
Am I bugging?
Yes, episode 2. Episode 3, my bad. Episode 3 of Ear Candy. Never Lose Me. Flo Milli. Love Aries. She mine, she fine. Ain't even gotta tell her she mine. She already know that she fine. We out.
Tell me you'll never wanna lose me. Tell me you'll never wanna lose me. I'll get hit with a two-piece. You know you can call if you need me. Tell me you ain't never.
Yeah, that beat is a fucking banger, I won't lie. That beat is 100% a fucking banger. I totally agree. I absolutely fucking agree, man. Okay. Alright. We got something to talk about here. So, let's talk a little bit about Ear Candy, episode 3 here. So, a couple things I noticed and thought of while I was kind of watching this was, Laverius is gonna get so not like so much better, right? But like just the consistency of doing this, you're gonna be trying new things. You're gonna be sharpening your sword without even knowing it. You know what I mean? Like it's a challenge to be able to come up with remixes like this and knowing that you're gonna like push yourself out of your comfort zone. You know what I mean? So I think that in itself is very fucking solid. I think that's one thing that's like gonna happen naturally as this series progresses for sure. That's one thing I loved about this, but really choosing like instrumentals that are on right now and instrumentals from songs that are just like super viral or just like very popular at the moment is a really good play. You know what I mean? Because kind of dealing with YouTube stuff, it's just a lot easier to just throw it up on there. But now you're kind of like bringing in a new concept from it. You know what I mean? You're really just kind of, it's not just uploading a freestyle remix. It's more so about like now you're seeing the process, you're seeing how Laverius kind of breaks this down, and then kind of incorporating fun challenges, like the challenge of using all the song titles from their previous album. Like, what the fuck? Like, coming up with that concept is fantastic, bro. Like, what? And then with the lyrics on screen, I thought that was like a really good addition as well, just because the viewer and maybe any first time listener kind of see the process, right? And really see like how it's done. So that's one thing I really loved about this, man, was Laveri's kind of is forever improving this, but also consistently like putting them out. You know what I mean? So it's all about improving each episode and trying new things. You know, some things might not work, some things you might do later and you're like, I don't really like that, and some things just might hit. You know what I mean? So keep doing this. This is like one of my favorite series that anybody as an artist has going on in the underground. Like, not even a question. It's really fun to see like the behind the scenes, right? But it's also like it's got this sense of comedy, but like seriousness, but also like it creates hype around whatever Laverius is doing next. So I can't stress enough like how creative and really solid this piece of content is, man. And it doesn't take much, and I think Laverius does a really good job with it. So I'm definitely really excited to see what they do next, what instrumental is next, and for them to just keep trying new things, man. I think that's the number one thing you can take from this is just try new shit and put yourself out there, because this is turning out to be like one of the coolest parts of the show, and also kind of like a deep dive into like other sides, right? So well done, my friends, well done. Huge shout out to Laverius. Make sure you go sub to their channel, man. They're 11 subs away from 490, so show them some love over there on YouTube for new episodes. And of course, make sure you follow Laverius on Twitter. They're 5 followers away from 120, so go show them some love. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 260 subscribers on the main channel, my friends. So make sure you subscribe, go show these artists some love. And of course, we upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good stuff available over there on the main channel. And huge shout out to everybody that already has, man. You guys are amazing. Thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So, we got about time for one more submission tonight, so let's crack off with Aries the producer. About This Money, Skula, and Rico. Okay. So Aries the producer is, man, this was the first time submitting artist, I believe, last week, and they absolutely fucking killed it with the music video that they submitted, and I believe this is another music video. So Aries, a very talented hip-hop producer, submitted About This Money. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. So, pop this open, a new tab, and see what we got here, chat. Let's go a little 720. Okay, so we got a little small channel upload. We love that. This is a little hidden gem here. This is a little gem. All right, let's get it. Aries the producer, About This Money.
I just need 100K. I do.
My boy, quick question. Who the fuck are they? That's Crenshaw Records, man. They from the year 2004.
Hey, Rico.
Rico.
Say less. So what you need? I need one of them hooks, dog. Like one of them Mr. Futuristic love hooks. That's why we came to the future. Question. What's up? They got that bag? You know they got that bag for you, my boy. It won't be no other way. Let's get it.
I just need 100K for that Wraith, yeah. I need a Birkin bag for my bitch to keep her happy. 2.5 in the safe for a rainy day. Nigga working hard, got to stay on my job for this money. When you rollin' with the mob, gotta stay on your job for this money. Yeah, stay with these stacks. I put that on Mrs. Racks by this money.
Get this money where I come from. Hundreds keep them flowing like water. We ain't save none. No shit about that business since she fucking. She ain't playing games, son. Cadillacing up and down the road with my day ones. Band, throw it in the club just for fun. Stunting in a black Dodge when I come around. 2 bag full of money bags like I'm pushing pounds. Bitches looking pretty, showing titties when I'm on the set. Smack 'em on the ass, I'm a star and I got the check. Cost to be the boss, paying dues, and I did that. 2 and 3 whips when I switch, I don't fall back. Blowing something fruity in a jag, that's my
I just need 100K for that Wraith, yeah. I need a Birkin bag for my bitch to keep her happy. 2.5 in the safe for a rainy day.
day. Nigga working hard, got to stay on my job for this money. When you rollin' with the mob, gotta stay on your job for this money. Yeah, stay with these stacks. I put that on Mrs. Racks by the money. Up this cash, I'm a pro. I can bury bonds. Take 100 Civic Jeep, put it in a foreign car. Beam my Benz, a Billy, painted blue. Living high life, sipping champagne by the food on the skylight. Hustle hard, focus on my paper, grinding, living large. I always take the air up out the room, shining like a star. Haters looking at me sideways with their face screwed. Cause I always move on my own, make my own rules. I'm the whole band, keep it cracking to my own tune. Schooler. Understand me? I'm the whole band, keep it cracking to my own tune. And that's schooler.
Okay.
For that Wraith, yeah.
They went off.
Working back for my bitch to keep her happy. 2.5 in the safe for a rainy day. Nigga working hard, got to stay on my job for this money. When you rollin' with the mob, gotta stay on your job for this money. Yeah, stay with these stats. I put that on Mrs. Racks by the money.
This video was an absolute vibe. Okay. I definitely see the vision. Okay, we got a solid outro too. Okay. WK Studios, baby. That was solid, man. That was solid. Aries really has like quite the amount of placements under their belt with like some really insane tracks. Some really insane tracks. Okay, so this is 2 for 2 because that video was crazy as well, man. All right. Okay, so let's talk about 3 things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We are gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the official video for About This Money. So let's talk instrumental. Obviously, Aries, the producer, came through. So let's talk mix, man. Mix is really solid for this, to be honest with you. One of the more like high energy, high aggression, kind of like a little bit more fast-paced style of instrumentals. So blending these with vocals isn't always like the easiest thing, right? So whoever engineered this did a really good job, and I think Aries did a really good job kind of mixing this down and making it as kosher as possible, right? So instrumental mix extremely solid, nothing clashing, too overbearing. I think all vocals sit nice, drums sit nicely without a doubt. Nothing too crazy that threw me off about this. Even down to the sound selection was very solid. Instrumental Shining Star. Now this one's kind of funny because I feel like the melody plays a big part in this, like, you know, get this money motivational kind of vibe that we're getting here, right? But it's also like a vacation summer kind of like throwback a little bit, you know what I mean? And this actually dropped July of last year, so this is definitely like a summer kind of track. Not even a question, a summer kind of track, like for sure. So the melody kind of helped out with that, but I feel like the drums were such a leading player here that I think the drums are such a... It's got to be the drum. I like the structure too, but the drums are really putting over again as well. You know what I mean? It's like specifically the drum selection. The drum selection and the sound selection overall is just fantastic. Like absolutely fantastic. So definitely the drums for sure. Let's talk vocals. The vocal mix is great. There's a little bit more of a melodic vibe on this, especially in the hook. And I think the mix is fantastic. Again, nothing clashing, too overbearing, nothing that like threw me off or anything like that. I'm definitely big on this vocal mix for sure, especially for both these artists. So vocal mix definitely up to par. Definitely up to par. Vocal Shining Star. Man, I love these verses, but I feel like this hook is so summer, good vibes, kind of friendly that it's got to be the hook. The hook is what you're going to remember. The hook has so much rhythm. The hook is just everything to this song, man. I love the verses. The verses definitely carry as well, but the hook is going to give you that good summer vibe, you know? So definitely the hook for sure. Let's talk about the video, man. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid. Definitely the hook. Let's talk music video. So again, leaning back to the summer feel, man, like this is everything. Like I think what shines the most here is the high quality, right? This director, and whoever edited this did a really good job with that as well. I think the high quality is something to not be understated at all. It just looks so crisp and clean and HD. It has such a good vibe to it. So the quality is everything here. And then on top of it, location. Location is everything. It's just a side street, lots of trees, lots of foliage, good summer day. It's probably like 3, 4 o'clock, maybe 5 o'clock. And it just looks like a good summer day, bro. So location is everything here too. Like I love the location. Um, and then the other location is a little bit more of like a night vibe and kind of like a little bit more like low key, um, almost like party vibe as well, right? So, locations were really great here. So it's everything to this summer vibe, and I like it a lot. I really, really like it a lot. And then just like the angles and how everybody is so comfortable on camera. That's the other thing I want to stress too, because we spoke about that last week. But everybody is so comfortable on camera in this video that I think it just makes around for just a fantastic video. Like this is everything you'd want for a video from the song. Not even a question. Fun, flexing, friends, good weather, good times, like, but it's also motivational, right? So this really has the whole package, if we're being honest with you. So, well done, my friend. Well done. With that said, huge shout out to Aries, the producer. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go sub to Andre Davis, and of course, make sure you follow Aries in the Cut on Twitter. They're approaching 3.6K on the Bird app, so go show them some love over there. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel. If you have not already, we're approaching 260 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, and all that good stuff is available over there. So go show these artists in the channel some motherfucking love, baby. So, that does it, my friends. That does it for episode 158, man. Huge shout out to everybody that tuned in, showed love, submitted, all that good stuff, man. You guys are fucking amazing. What a week. What a week it's been. So much stuff coming, man. Let's close it out. Let's talk about what's coming over the course of the next week. Submissions, all that good stuff. Let's show some thanks. So, with that said, huge shout out to everybody that submitted tonight. Literally. Huge shout out to Pooh, Lil Derek, Lil Wet, The Single Digit, Survival and Negativity, Braden, Ghost Candy, Alan K, Blank Thought, Laveries, Aries the producer, and everybody else that submitted, man. You guys are fucking amazing. Blank Thought and Jordan as well for being Music Money's patrons. You guys are fucking glorious. So per usual, man, you guys are fucking awesome. Awesome. Thank you for your submissions. And huge shout out to everybody that tuned in the chat tonight, man. The chat was fucking slamming. So again, huge shout out to you guys. You guys are fucking massive W's, dog. Huge shout out to Loudest, Miz, Rekill, anybody else that lurked and chilled, Ghost Candy. Thank you for coming through and tuning in to the Music Mondays podcast. You guys are fucking angels. I love you. Thank you. So, what's coming up at Music Mondays? What's going on for the rest of the week? So, submissions will open tomorrow for episode 159 of the Music Mondays podcast. We're closing in on 160 episodes. So if you'd like to submit for next week, make sure you follow us on socials at All Music Mondays. Submissions will be open tomorrow. So again, follow us on socials. Stay up to date. Make sure you know when submissions are dropping, my friends. Music Mondays merch will be here in my possession relatively soon. This week soon. Hopefully within the next couple days. Shipping says February 1st. So, as soon as I get it, we're going to organize an announcement and let that loose. And of course, your weekly and monthly content will stay up to date on Music Mondays. We have a stack of stuff we want to get out for you guys. A couple playlist updates, a couple new announcements, and a lot of good stuff available at Music Mondays, man. So, lots coming. Lots coming for sure. Absolutely. But with that said, make sure you follow us at All Music Mondays on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok, Tumblr, wherever you're at, man. Follow us over there. And submissions open tomorrow for episode 159 of the Music Mondays podcast. So again, follow us on socials. And of course, if you'd like to stream the Music Mondays podcast, anchor.fm/All Music Mondays. We're available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and everywhere else. And of course, sub to the YouTube, bro. We're 10 subs away from 260, making that 300 push. But yeah, lots of really good announcements this week. So keep your eyes peeled, man. Stay tuned. And of course, make sure you follow the channel if you haven't already. We're inching closer past 600 followers, so follow the channel. And of course, I'm your boy Zom Slays. Make sure you follow me at all socials linked down below. All that good stuff's linked down there. And we're live like 5-6 days a week, bro. So tune in, come through, show some love to the channel. We're always here. We love to have you. But with that said, that does it. We'll see you next week for episode 159 of the Music Mondays podcast. Stay tuned. Be safe. I love you guys. Thank you. And we'll see you next time.